Hello, this is the page analysis tool, and this tool is very much used for traditional SEO. So that means that with this tool, you are focused on the traditional search results, not the AI generated AI answers. And this tool is very much an analysis tool. This is used to highlight strengths and weaknesses. And I'm just going to jump in and give you an overview, and then I'm going to give you a rundown of how I use the tool. And I'm just going to jump right in. Okay, so at the top we have our link strength, and that is a recreation of PageRank. That's a combination of the links pointing to the domain and to the page. And the reason that that's important is because we all know that Google uses PageRank to calculate the rankings. Okay, one thing to keep in mind is that because it's a logarithmic score, it's very normal that the scores for this would be quite low. And so use it more as a comparative metric. So put in the competitive pages that you want to beat and compare its scores to your page, and then you will know which one is stronger. Okay. And this is the relevance score, and the relevance score is calculated. We actually use multiple different points to calculate your total relevance score. We look at the top keywords on the page. We look at an average of all of the keywords on the page. And we also look at which categories or NLP classifications that Google is putting into your page in their confidence scores. So this is pretty much like a total and an average score of your overall relevance to know how strong is it. This is a keyword strength, and the keyword strength is this is calculated from looking at the target keywords, and we look at how many HTML elements that it appears in on the page. We look at how many times, which is the occurrences, it appears in the page. And we look at the prominence, which is how close the keywords appear to the start of the document. Okay. And those three things are really, we know, are super strong for on-page SEO. So you can really get a confident sense that if the keyword strength is low, it's going to be difficult to show up high. And same thing, if it's high, you're much more likely to rank high. And the key thing to keep in mind with the relevance and the keyword strength scores is that you don't need to have perfect scores. You don't need to have a score of 90 or 100. Just getting a score around 75 and above, or in the 80s, that's perfectly fine. And that's enough to achieve a top ranking. Okay, and then over here we have intent and quality, and the intent and quality scores are assessed by holistically looking at your content. We look at both of them at 50 different points of the content, and that's your total score up here. And you would just use this as a general sense to know which area needs some improvement. So for example, this page we would see, okay, the quality needs some work. We probably don't need to worry about the intent so much, but we could probably improve the quality. And over here, we could see that the keyword strength is probably a bit low as well. So if we improve those areas, we might show up a bit higher. Okay. And we also have the target keywords, and these are all the different, this is the DNA of your target keywords and the core terms and the core words that make up your target keyword, and how strong they have been optimized in the different areas of the page. And then over on the right, we can actually see a benchmark which is being fetched from, this has been fetched from only number one rankings. And the reason this is useful is, for example, if you are optimizing your main target keyword, here we can see it's been only optimized once into the page, it's under optimized. But we might want to know, okay, well, what's a safe range? You know, what is a level where I can confidently optimize my target keyword into the page, and I can know that that's in a safe range, and that's why we have the top ranking pages benchmark. Okay. We also have the entities, and this is fetched using Google's NLP models. And one thing that we are seeing with the entities is that the top ranking pages, they very much do have relevant entities in their top entities displayed in this tool. Okay. And low ranking pages quite often have irrelevant entities showing up. But overall, this is not as strong and it's not as important as the keyword optimization. So I would absolutely prioritize getting the keyword optimization right over the entities. Here we have the quality and intent grading sections, and how we use these sections is if our scores are low at the top, then we can have a look through these tables and we can try and find the areas that are dragging the scores down so we can fix them and improve our total and average scores. And right down the bottom here, we have the AI classifications, and we have two relevant score metrics. And the reason we have this is because we have our total relevant score at the top, but sometimes we need a bit more granular and detailed information. And so we also have the average score of all of the keywords on the page. And then we also have the raw text of the relevant score of the total document. So we've just fed the whole document start to finish in plain text and got an overall relevant score of that. And that just helps you highlight which areas that might be lacking. And so, for example, that here we can see the average relevant score of all n-grams. It seems to be a bit low, so we might add in some more semantic keywords as example. And here we have the classifications, and these are kind of like the categories that Google puts your page into. And here we can see if this page has its classifications are aligning quite closely with the search queries, so that's great. And but a lot of cases, low ranking pages, you can see they don't have the search queries classifications. And if that's the case, what you'd want to do is you want to add in new pieces of content to try and improve that categorization. And I'll give you an example. If this page, if it didn't have the product reviews and price comparisons category that we can see right here, if it didn't have that on the page, we might want to add in some reviews. We might want to add in some features comparisons, a review methodology, and that type of thing. Types of content that we would normally associate with a page that covers that topic, and that would increase the confidence scores. Okay, so how do I use this tool? I think many people will actually use this tool in different ways, but it might give an insight into how I use this tool. It might help you use this tool more effectively. So usually what I do, my first touch point for using this tool is I will put in top rankings, and I will put in number one rankings of competing pages that are that I want to beat, and I will put them in this tool, and then I can find which areas that I know I need to improve, but I'll also know what are safe ranges to be in to try and get a number one ranking. And I'll also find like easy opportunities where I can beat them. So for example, if their quality and intent scores are low, I know that I can invest a bit of time and effort into really building something that has a much higher quality than them, and that will give me an advantage. So I would definitely add into your processes of putting in top ranking pages, and then of course putting in your page, and then it just gives you a much more accurate sense of what top ranking pages are doing, and then also setting benchmarks and setting targets for you to beat them. And that's about it for this tool right now. One thing to keep in mind, this is an analysis tool. This is for finding strengths and weaknesses. This is for getting a sense of why pages are ranking low or high. And then for implementing, that's where you use the semantic keywords and the keyword optimizer tools.